If you want respect, you gotta earn it. You damn right.
Once again, it's on. What up, B? Good to see you, my brother. How you enjoying your summertime?
Yeah, it's finally getting warm, man. It took a little minute.
Took a little minute
for summer to show up. I mean, you know, New York was still summering, but finally here. Finally got some weather. I was very warm today.
No doubt. Yeah, it was one of those. It's definitely one of those days today. Do we have some warm weather music for the episode today?
I mean, Georgia's pretty hot.
It does get hot in Georgia.
It's pretty warm.
I mean, Georgia, yes, the state,
pretty
but we
warm
talk
in
about
Georgia.
the actual sound, the sonics
Are we gonna find out
of this record.
We're gonna find out how hot the sonic is.
We can preview right now.
Yeah. We got Mr. Killer Mike.
Killer Mike.
The album Michael, self-titled.
Self-titled
Yeah,
album,
man.
Michael.
And,
first name, technically, he don't really go by Michael, but his first name is Michael.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. Killer Mike is not his government name. But he is, I've known this man for 20 years, and, I've watched his trajectory, you know what I'm saying? Like, coming in the game, splash, didn't really hit right away, had to find his way, finally got some notoriety, found, Run the Jewels, of course, that was massive success.
For sure.
And now, then like outside of music, just finding his voice as a I don't want to say politician, but, as an advocate and black leader. You know what I'm saying? In the hip hop community specifically. So
in the culture.
100%.
I think that helped him figure out his space in the music.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
You can hear it on his album.
For sure.
He's finally, it's crazy because again, I mean, his first single I think came out in maybe like 2004, which is damn near 2 decades ago.
Right.
But, I feel like he's finally finding his lane. Like he's matching, like you said, matching, being a thought leader and educating us, whether it's Bill Maher or on CNN, as a talking head, but then like incorporating that with the music, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was all a build up to this moment, this Michael moment. His first solo album in 11 years.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna get to it, B.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it. Down by Law.
Down by Law, man.
Setting it right off.
Sheesh. Yeah, I mean, Down by Law is also, a great title in hip hop.
Right.
If you know your shit.
Right.
You
It's
know
just
what I mean?
a phrase. It's a terminology.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's hard. It's usually related to hardcore shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hardcore rappers.
Hardcore street dudes.
Hardcore street dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever your law is. So I thought that was a great title. I love the consciousness. I love the way he does this throughout the album, right? Like he uses it he uses these songs as a method to tell his own story, some biographical, but also repent. You know what I'm saying? Like he's talking about he gives you the good and the bad with this.
Yeah.
Sometimes, with these rappers, it's all champagne and gold chains, right? And I mean, with him, he's like, nah, like I've been through some shit. I've been through some rap shit. I've been through some real shit. And I was wrong sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten it right. You know what I mean? So I love the balance of it all. Like he's clearly in a good space right now, but he went through some shit.
Even through the cover is telling, right? The artwork on the cover, there's the devil is and the halo.
There we go.
Right? So you get the duality of who Mr. Michael Render is right then and there. So this is not a
wild collar.
It's a wild collar.
Wild collar.
Collar everywhere. Collar came off the computer screen.
On the elbow. Collar.
Collar crazy. Not an intro per se, but a great way to start the album.
Oh yeah.
Produced by Corey Moe. I say he talking. I like this choppy, like staccato kind of flow, but he drilling it. You know what I'm saying? I did say that my nigga gets to me after a while, just because
he does it a lot.
He gets a lot. Yeah, he does it a lot in the album, which I feel like. And listen, whatever your take is on the N word and artists using it, that's fine. Yeah. I feel like Killer Mike has enough
vocabulary.
Vocabulary one, but also rap intelligence to figure out a better way to continue a flow without kind of using that as a crutch.
But I think, as somebody who's always wanted to be recognized as lyrical, and I think you said this before. I think you said something like it's harder to dumb it down because you just want to write. So I think with him, he's trying to do the Lauren, right? He's trying to like throw a motherfucker in for the ignorant mode. He's trying to like find a way to gutter it up, to gutter up the intelligence. You know what I'm saying? So he does the southern bounce, which can be a lazy crutch, but I mean, if your bars are mean in between, you can get away with the bitch at the end.
I guess because of our level of intellect. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, it becomes somewhat annoying just hearing it repeatedly because I just know it's not necessary.
It's not necessary.
CeeLo Green is always necessary though.
Whew, man, I actually wish he was, because you said because Mike is drilling it so hard on his pose. Like I feel like it would have been great to get a break from that and bring CeeLo in because CeeLo sounds so good. Or maybe just have CeeLo, he did kind of
like
set
a
it up.
verse.
No. I mean, like what he did at the end, but like have that in the beginning of the verse because he's like he's the flow is relentless.
Yeah, the flow is relentless.
He's on your neck
nonstop.
He's on your neck like 24.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right.
if he broke it up a little bit, let CeeLo come in and bring his magic to it, sprinkle his thing on it. And I think we'd appreciate the verses a little more because he's saying some crazy shit, boy.
Well, that's gonna happen all through the album.
Yeah,
that's gonna happen all through the album.
That's
He's
one
talking.
Thing. He says
I started. That's the very first thing I wrote. He talking.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
goodness,
Like he getting into this conversation.
Also, very popular Curtis Mayfield sample.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, overall, man. Like I said, produced by Corey Moe.
Study hard like John Henry Clark. Y'all don't understand.
Like
one of the smartest black men ever.
Do your Googles.
Ever.
I love when the artist. Not in this particular instance, but I love when I learn something in the music and I gotta go search something. I gotta go look up a word. I gotta look up a person. I love that. Let's get back to this. Down by Law, I gave it 8.5.
I give it a 9.
Give it a 9?
Oh yeah, man.
Okay. Strong out the gate.
Bars were nutritious.
For sure. Strong out the gate. Shed tears.
Hey, shout out to picking up his wife too. I love that too.
No doubt.
Face of a model, heart of a sada. I love that.
You see them together all the time. Shay Bigger. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely one of those artists who puts his wife right there in the front, or right to his side. You know what I'm saying? He gives her props as well, right? For helping him build up and making sure he invested instead of buying material items and things. Like you got a queen like that on your team.
Man, you go far.
You're gonna continue to ascend. Shed Tears, produced by No ID, featuring Mozzie and Lena Bird Miles. So 2 tracks in, I'm like, oh, he got the singers. He called the singers out.
Oh, the choir's been the choir's on the whole album.
He called the singers out.
Oh,
man.
the whole album.
Yeah,
everybody got bourbon in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Church.
It's yams over there in the corner if you want.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. We
Oh
pass this collection plate
We
around a couple times.
We do not really leave. We don't leave church too much on this album.
Oh man, yeah. Nah, he took us right to church. And you mentioned this earlier, right? Some of it is autobiographical and some of it is fictitious, man. But the bars from Mike and Mozzie talking about their life experiences is super strong. Yeah, as I'm listening to this song over and over again, I'm loving it. I'm loving the chorus. And then I realize that it's Matthew 11, 28, and 30. 30, right? So I had to go look up. I was like, yo, wait, I know this. I know why is this resonating with me?
Yeah.
So it's come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you your rest. Take my yoke upon and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And so I'm like, I know that. I knew that from somewhere. So definitely big shout out to my grandmother.
I didn't know the actual name of it, but I knew it was from.
I knew it was a verse, and so I had to go find it because my grandmother would not be proud of me if I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is speaking to me for more than one reason because I know this already. This feels familiar to me. But it sounds amazing. How you like Mozzie on this?
I thought it was cool. I mean, I like his verse. It's funny we talking about the choir and. My only real criticism with this song was that it just felt like a bunch of things that were put together. Mike comes in and says his verse and gives us his spiel. Mozzie does his thing. It's kind of his own thing. But then it's about
he sticks to the script though.
No, absolutely. Like I said, his own thing. And then like the hook is just kind of like his own thing. Even the way that Mike was rhyming, it felt like it was a little. Almost like the hook was added later. You know what I'm saying? Like he just had his shit and he just added it later as opposed to making it together. Like I said, no major criticism, but it did feel a little busy for me. You know what I mean? And there's certain parts on this album where it gets a little overproduced.
It gets busy for sure. Yeah. I love the chorus on this. That's the driving force for the song for me. I think the chorus is amazing. Yeah. The singer, sounds amazing, and taking us to choir taking us to church with the choir and all of that.
And Mike's first verse, man, talking about how single motherhood affected him being a father. I mean, that was just heavy.
He get into it. No, he get into some talk.
He gets into some really rich topics, man. Stuff that are kind of evergreen, but just hasn't really been covered in hip hop. So you really got to tip your hat to Mike on that. Like he's covering ground that we all live with, black people, whomever, but really hasn't been covered with rappers. So that's
I love the grown up rap. Hip hop is in its 50th year. We know that, right? I've grown past the young shit and content.
Yeah.
This is why Fonte was always one of my favorites.
I'm telling you, bro.
Fonte
I was like, I want more of this, man. I want more.
Like,
was it Bad Jeans?
Oh yeah, Good Jeans.
Good Jeans. I want more of that, man.
And just like. The more you live and the more you live as a black man, here there's a lot of shit that we got to talk about, talk through, have therapy through, and sometimes that happens in the confines of where the music is as well. So I thought it was a solid joint, man. I gave it another 8.5.
8.5. I gave it an 8.
Gave it 8?
Yeah.
Okay, no doubt. Run,
nigga, run.
Featuring Thugger. Jenny told Forrest Gump.
Run.
So this record has actually been out
Dave
for
Chappelle,
a while.
Actually.
Shout out to David. Shout out to David Chappelle.
So we're not asking you to be perfect. Asking you to be a leader.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Listen, you don't got to be perfect to start, but you got to start to be perfect.
Yeah. So he dropped this a while ago with the video. Did you fuck with it when it first came out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I put it on. I played it on the radio. Nice. I was very curious to see where Michael was going with the album when I heard this joint.
This sounds like the first single to this album.
yeah. I like that. Definitely so. I like that he brought Thug into his world. Like he didn't try to do what Thug does. He brought Thug to his side.
Yeah.
I don't love what Thug did on the song.
I think Thug missed the note.
I don't love, I think that he only because I actually think that when he does his shit, Thug, he got joints.
Thug gets busy.
Yeah, he got joints.
Let's get that clear.
Yeah, he got.
Thug gets absolute, but he can do whatever he wants to.
Right.
But again, what he's been a little busy, preoccupied. He
definitely
the last few months.
So
we don't know how this verse transpired. We don't know if it was an old joint. If we don't know. We don't know. So
I think this came out right around the time that the Rico came out. So I'm pretty sure he did this before.
Yeah, you can hear the verse. He's still using the Run theme, but he sets it off about buying bags for chicks. I'm like, I was like, wait, what? I was like, you hear Mike?
Yeah.
You hear Dave?
Well, again, he did his thing. I just don't love the fit on this one.
It didn't fit.
What I'm saying?
I don't think he really fucked with the topic.
It was somewhat of a misfit.
Yeah, we're talking about Run and maintaining your freedom and fighting for it. And he just talks about buying bitches bags.
Talking about his Young Thug shit.
I'm like, okay.
Mike also got mad flows on this joint. Like by the time you get to the third song, you see like, he gonna give you a lot of versatility in the way he's delivering these records, which I enjoy, especially when you get in a robust album of 13, 14 joints. You know what I'm saying? Like mix it up, give us some different perspective, give us some different energy, give us some different, cadence.
It's playing with powder way before LeBron, man.
Come on,
got
man.
A couple lines.
He
got a couple lines.
Listen, Killer Mike got bars. Like we're not gonna play that game.
He can rap.
Yeah,
let's just establish that.
Yeah, we're not gonna play that.
Whoever's out there watching who thought that we were trying to tap in and see if Killer Mike can rap. Let's please.
He literally. What's his last name? His last album was like rap music. What's the name of the last album? I think it was rap music.
Rap shit, I think.
Okay, well, Killer Mike can rap.
Yeah.
We've known that for a long time.
Yeah, whatever.
Mike Bigger, Killer Mike. You know what I'm saying?
How about Mike Bigger? I forgot about Mike Bigger.
Those guys can rap.
He tried to kill Killer Mike.
All those guys can rap. What'd you give Run? Or if you have anything else to say about it.
Run. It's also just as Big Boy would say, this joint is jamming.
It's jamming.
This joint is jamming. Like, because it's kind of a protest song, but I find myself vibing to this joint, man. I'm nodding, I'm saying? I'm swaying.
I'm black and I'm proud. Yeah. Like, a jam is a jam.
A jam is a jam. Absolutely, man. Politicians lie and your favorite rapper's a con. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's joints on here, man. It's just a good joint. For it to be a protest song, and, it can sound militant, and sometimes those militant songs could get a little dense.
Yeah.
This joint, it's a bop, man.
It's a fine line in finding how to give us edutainment.
Craftsmanship.
You know what I'm saying? Like
all craftsmanship.
And it's not easily accomplished, but when it's done right, I think it's special. And really, the only knock I got on this, and not to shit on Young Thug, 'cause I actually do enjoy some of his music. I just think he was way out of his world in this one, in this
really?
shows.
Come on, I don't think he could have done it because he actually started doing it at the end. I love the verse, but like he just. I just think.
No, I don't think he could not have done it. I just think he didn't do it,
No,
and so he was out of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like he just didn't tap in the way I feel like he could have tapped in.
100%.
Overall, what'd you give Run?
8.5.
8.5? Yeah. I give it an 8. Okay. Tough joint. Enrich.
Nigga Rich.
Enrich. You said a word all album, Mike. Just put it in the damn title.
right. Nice.
Featuring Black and Erin Allen Kane, who shows up a few times on the album, and she sounds marvelous.
She does.
And she sounds marvelous.
She does.
Chef's kiss.
She does. I mean, I wasn't really familiar with a lot of the singers on this album, but like Mike has got some he's got some scouting eyes.
Nah, he wasn't bullshit. Yeah,
his
he's a
great,
GM, right?
He bringing
GM than Mike.
Yo, he bring. Yo, shout out to the Hornets. Yo, yeah, man. Cole just took over, right? Cole is part of the
minority.
Minority.
Yeah, I love that.
But yeah, man,
he Dreamville for real, right? So I'm gonna be a rap star. I'm a hoop, and I'm gonna buy a team.
Stop playing. I'm a hoop. I'm hoop in Africa, right, but I'm gonna own a team in the States. Like, how about that?
Like Dreamville for real.
Yeah, Dreamville for real. Shout out to the whole team. But yeah, like I said, I think with this joint, I think Mike does what he does in the last two joints. He's giving us those bars. I love how he takes shots at folks who at us loving New Jack City and Blow and those out. He's like, y'all not watching Fresh though. Like that's what y'all should be watching. You know what I mean? I think you should watch them all.
I watch them all.
I watch them all. I've seen them all numerous times.
Yeah.
So I mean,
can quote them all.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, I love that he bigged up Fresh because that is one of those joints that might be a little slept on.
For sure.
Not as popular as a New Jack City. But Fresh.
Also, I think regionally, right? You think about Atlanta. You're like Fresh might have resonated more up top than people in the South and people in other regions. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
it's definitely that.
But I mean, how could Fresh resonate more up top than New Jack City? New Jack City is fucking New York as a motherfucker.
That's a fact.
Like you can't get. I mean, that's fucking Harlem.
Yeah, that's Harlem. Yeah. All right, Nigga Rich featuring Black, Erin Allen Kane, produced by Cool and Dre and 808 Ray. Yeah, man, this is another tough joint.
You know what I love about what Mike does also, man, throughout this album? I mean, this is very much. I mean, it's almost understated, right? I mean, it's too obvious to say, right? It's a very, very black album, right? But it's but what he does is he makes sure that it's a black album so that black people across the world can resonate with it. But he makes sure that it's still Southern. So he's a thought leader. Yeah, he's hyper intelligent. Yeah, he's a veteran in this game. Yeah, he's lyrical, right? But he's he lets you know like, yo, as much as I'm evolved and as much as progressive as a man, sometimes I'll be wanting I just want some Gucci.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want some logo shit. Sometimes I want to ball out somebody. I want to just fuck off some money. Like
Mike and I have the same stylist, so he definitely be having some of that shit on.
Really?
Yes. He be having that. Shout to Marty. He be having that shit on. Okay. Marty, I get a discount for this shout out. I'm just letting you know right now.
Marty.
You know what I mean?
Marty.
Whatever the next event is, it's 10% off for this shot right here. But yeah, no. So he definitely be putting that shit on. Mike is a very well-rounded, I think, individual.
I love that. I love Mike. I have it's funny. It's crazy too because I guess I can say this, but like
he said, I guess I can say
I can say this. I mean, whatever. I mean, is what it is. But like throughout the years, me being in certain positions like magazines and stuff like that, there were times where I've always been cool with Mike. Mm-hmm. We've always had a great relationship, right? Mm-hmm. And I think when things were going low for him, he got low. People weren't helping him out. I don't know what it was, but like anytime I've run into him, our conversations are amazing. It's not like, yo, what's up? You good? Shoot the shit. What's up with this? Like, it's like we have in-depth conversations, like what's going on in his, like for real shit, our life. Right. And I'm like, that's what you get from Mike. And the thing is, it's like, I always said
he's
this.
not a shallow human being.
100%.
So if you
he's
have
never been.
Right. If you have any relationship with him.
Since our first conversation, like my first conversation with him, of course, was an interview. And then we had a relationship, right? Mm-hmm. But like, it didn't change. Like every conversation we have, it's very, very... there's a lot of substance to the conversation. It's never like, oh, I haven't seen you out. What up, my nigga? Like, keep it pushing. Like, it's not that. He's always giving you something real. If I ask him how he feels, he will give you an honest answer about how he feels for real. You know what I mean? Without giving you too much. You know what I mean? But like, it's crazy, man. Like, Mike is just a genuine and rare breed in this hip hop game, man.
For sure. I love that all of these years later, the relevance,
everything he has right now, he's absolutely earned.
Earned. 100%. Nothing was given. I mean, we'll get into this when we get to the Run the Jewels song. Actually, I'll just save it for that. Okay. You got anything to say? I didn't love Black's verse on this joint.
Yeah, I thought it was smooth.
I thought it was good.
I thought it was cool. smooth.
It was cool, but it
He
didn't
was-
like super move me though.
It didn't super move me. I mean, Black is always good to me. It doesn't really super move me ever. But like, I think also like, well, I think he also did Umi Over. That was fucking fire. Umi Says Over. That was crazy. But yeah, I mean, like he sticks to the topic.
He does.
He gives us some like I
Yeah,
never
yeah.
even really heard him really going like that about the block and where he stands with it and blah blah. Like it seemed like a Black verse for this song, so I really appreciated that, and also the texture of it, right? Like Mike is a little aggressive mainly, so when he's Black is always super laid back.
Right.
He adds that melody, so I love the balance here.
I've heard Black deliver better though.
Okay,
Like better
really?
quality verses.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, gotcha.
Actually, I like Black. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I
Yeah,
was
you
a
said this,
little,
yeah.
I was a little more critical of his verse on the joint. But overall, man, tough joint, solid joint. Anything else before we get to the rating?
8.
What-
I give it 8.
8? I gave it 8.5.
Okay.
Give it 8.5. Talking that shit.
Talking that shit.
DJ Paul.
DJ Paul.
TY exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Produced this joint. I mean, I think this one lives up to the title.
Talking shit.
Yeah.
Talking shit.
There's a lot of shit talking.
A lot of shit talking.
A lot of shit talking on this joint. But I don't feel like it's a lot of real direction until we get to Mike's last verse.
No, I think it's interesting. It's called talking shit, right? But like the free flow shit, I don't think that's Mike's strength.
Nah.
Mike is strong when he has an agenda.
Stay on topic.
Yeah, when he has a topic, he has an agenda. He has a lot to say. He'll
Telling
give
the story.
He'll tell the
Yeah.
story. He'll give you a lot. But the whole like braggadocious, just I'm shitting on you, I'm grabbing my nuts type rap, like that's not really Mike's strength.
Yeah.
And on this song, it was like, damn, I actually like the beat, but like
it's some
Mike's
real
not-
hypnotized mind shit.
Yeah,
it's some real like
this could have been
this could have
been a joint.
Yeah.
But what Mike did on it, Mike rapped on it. Like that 3-6 ain't rapping like that.
Yeah, you gotta
So it didn't
Right.
really mesh for me. Like
Right.
I didn't really care for this joint like
same
that.
same shit. I like the beat switches. But yeah, that's what I was just saying. Like, I love the DJ Paul sound. It sounds like some classic hypnotized mind Memphis shit. But I don't like when Mike is just rapping for the sake
He
of
also
rapping.
does the shit you said you didn't like. He does the shit at the end of every verse.
Yeah, he did that
The
again.
bitch at
Right.
every bar. Like
Yeah.
he does that. And it 100% is not necessary here. So I didn't get it. But again, I really like the track, but
Beat is tough.
unfortunately I didn't like what Mike did on it.
Word. What'd you give it?
7.5.
7.5. I gave it an 8. I don't think anything really like even now. And let's stop to say this. Mike is so good, and the record is so good musically, and I think the overall project feels so good
Yeah.
that you don't really go. There's not a lot of lows. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna get really low on the joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no Lil Jon on this joint.
Now I'll tell you this. For me, this next record is a high.
Ooh.
This next record is a high
Ooh.
for me.
Okay.
Slummer featuring J.E.
Slummer.
Love Jagged Edge. Produced by 808 Ray and Cool and Dre again.
Well, okay. Well, I'll start with what you just said because, now I'm gonna start with.
I like you. He's choosing his words wisely, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna start with Mike, man, because again, he did it, man. Like I didn't love J. Cole's Virgin song, right?
Okay.
I didn't love that song, right? I have a thing with 30-year-olds talking about their virginity, but like, this is something that
That
again,
record was hilarious because it was actually a single that played on the radio.
it was a single.
He was
bro.
talking about fucking.
I never understood that shit, bro.
I was like, bro,
learning
you
how
talking-
to learn how to fuck. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
talk about fucking.
they
Like,
had a baby like 2 years later. But anyway, shout out to the Hornets.
shout out to the Hornets. Shout out to the Hornets. It's crazy. But while we doing that, shout out to my man Norm Richardson, who's one of the assistant coaches on the Hornets.
Oh shit! This is again something that we've all experienced, right? I mean, hopefully, you know what I'm saying.
Right,
You know what I mean? Like your summers are usually lit.
Right.
Summers are usually more lit when it comes to women than the winters.
Summers-
When you're young.
Yo,
don't
summers
do
used to
it.
be
Don't
so-
do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stay here with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Don't leave me.
summers used to
Don't
be-
leave me. Yo, I will.
Yo, I will go down.
violate your mom's couch, me.
I will go down to DC.
Son. Are you
and be the
traveling?
new-
You traveling
and be-
young?
Yeah, I was traveling young. And be the
That's
New
dope.
York guy
Son, I get
down
it.
in DC.
Get it. I went to Howard's homecoming for the first time when I was 15.
Oh my God,
Man, gin
What
and
were-
juice.
what were you doing
Drinking
there?
gin and juice. Drinking gin and juice.
All right, Snoop.
Drinking was 93, yo. Like, son,
what you did.
that's what we
That's
did.
great.
Drinking gin and juice, yo. It's crazy.
All right, guys, get back to that.
Anyway, So again, we've
Don't ever mention my Young Summers though. Don't do that.
Young Summer.
Don't do that.
Dear Summer.
Right. I
Treated me
know
so-
you're gonna miss me.
So I'm saying, like, again, like, he could do the whole, like, I had a girl in summer ball. He could do this could be a very pedestrian song.
Right.
But what he does was he gives us again. This wasn't some ego shit. It's not like, I was fucking mad bitches in the summertime. Like, he's saying, like, had an older chick, right? I can relate to. You know what I'm saying? You had an older chick. She was, whatever was whoop-de whoop. And then she gets pregnant by an older dude because she don't just belong to you because you're the little dude. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You break up because she gets pregnant by other dude. Then come to find out, then another summer, you go and get another chick pregnant. You think that it's going to be yours. You actually think you were ready for fatherhood. The mother's not having it. You know what I mean? You gave up the money. You told your boys. I mean, like, you can see all of this. Like, if you haven't dealt with this as a black man, as a young black man, you have your boys who've dealt with this. Somebody within your circle, if not you, has dealt with some of these elements, if not the majority of them.
If I'm in your circle, it's me.
There you go. There you go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I mean, you know what I'm saying? So personally, it's like, yeah, like the older chick during the summertime, loved it. I was cloud nine, blah, blah, blah. But she don't just belong to you, bro. Because you the little, you know what I'm saying? Right. You're the young dude. Right. You know what I'm saying? Getting pregnant by another dude. I haven't experienced that, but happened to my man, to a couple of my mans. You know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, lied to them and said it was their baby. Like, it was craziness. So him to like cover this ground, I mean, Mike is in his 40s, man. To cover this ground, man, and like have everybody reminisce on it without it feeling like we're talking about our virginity, man, I just think is high craftsmanship, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought at some point you were gonna compare it to the J. Cole shit. And
no. I was like, that's what I'm saying. This is a great way to do this. This makes me feel I can sit in this. Like,
I can sit in this.
That doesn't feel like I don't like. Come on, bro. Nah. Like, I've been fucking for how many years? We talking about
right.
Like
it just the approach was totally different.
Yeah,
this just feels way more mature. It's
way
heavier.
More mature. It's
heavier. It has more.
It's way layered. It's way more layered.
It has more gravity.
Way more layered. You're changing time, context, and all of that.
It's crazy. So what? You didn't like Jagged Edge on it?
I did not like Jagged Edge on it, man.
Why?
I did not like it. The riffing, I didn't think it was super on the nose. Like, during the, like, we already know what the song's about. Like, you go in riffing about the summer. I was like, oh, this is. I was hyped when I saw Jagged Edge. I love Jagged Edge.
I loved it.
You loved them on
Yes.
this? Nah, I didn't.
The beat, the sample, and the way they sound, and what Mike is talking about, and how it makes me feel, like the way they pull the music out in the last verse.
I wish,
and that shit is just, oh my God.
I love the track. I actually wish Mike would have left. I don't know how he would have done it, because I love the way he tells a story, but he tells it. His flow is almost like party like. His flow is almost like a club record, but he's telling a really in depth story. But like under it, that beat is great. Like the samples and the vocals under it. I was like, I actually wanted to hear more of that. So like maybe if you would have gave it more space, I love this track. He's very much on top of it. Love the story, but yeah, I didn't love the riff. I didn't.
Yeah, I thought it all came together rather marvelously.
Yeah.
I think Jagged Edge sounds great. Like, I just love hearing their tones. Like them boys can sing. I love hearing their tones. I love the sample. I love what Mike is talking about, and like I said, man, I feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love at this stage in my life, I want to hear music that make me feel something. And this record definitely, it's nostalgic, it's grown, it reminds me of some of my own experiences, although not the same exact specific story, but enough to make me go back and think about my summers, my slummers, right?
Slummers.
That $400 line hit. That line hit, boy. Baby. I wouldn't have told my guys. I think the storytelling on this is brilliant.
Yeah, it's really good storytelling.
This young lady who's wise beyond her years and dealing with grown folks, and the music I think is brilliant. I gave it a 9.5.
Ooh.
I really like this record.
I gave it 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah,
I think it's
just because I thought, again, like I really wanted to hear like it sounded a little busy kind of production wise. Like, it was like so many vocals under it.
It was a lot of shit happening, but it wasn't overwhelming to me.
You gotta remember, like we always say, when you rhyme a certain way, right? When you, especially like like Busta, right? When you rhyme a certain way, on top of the beat like that, you become an instrument.
Yeah.
So to have your instrument as the lead instrument, then the vocals under with Jagged Edge, and then the sample at the same time, I was like,
felt good. It felt rich in my soul.
Felt good. Okay, it landed.
Scientists and engineers.
Okay, now
people been talking about this record since the album dropped.
A
lot of conversation. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Featuring.
I almost forgot Future was on it.
Featuring Andre 3000, Future, Aaron is on this one as well. Produced by everybody that went to the studio that day. A lot of people on it.
Produced by Gang.
Produced by Folk and Gnome. I mean, come on, bro. What we gonna do? We gonna talk about how
I'm like, where we start? You know, I'm gonna let you run it.
About surgical Andre 3000 again for the millionth time.
Why you break up Oblivion, son? So why you do that?
It's Oblivion. Yo, it's Oblivion.
Oblivion. Neon, like Neon Beyond, like what do you? Why? Like he's bored.
He's bored.
He is fucking bored.
He's like, how can I just rearrange the?
Let me just play with letters. Let me play with syllables.
Yeah, syllables.
He's not even rhyming words. Let me just play with syllables.
These syllables.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
Andre 3000 is so bored with words. He plays with syllables.
He making them new words.
How about that?
He making them new sounds.
That is crazy.
He making new phonetics.
What?
Yeah.
Oblivion, Neon Beyond.
Yeah. Nah, it's and it all connects still, right? It all comes back together
because it's nothing. Because that's why it connects. It's nothing. There's nothing. It's everything and nothing. That's what his verse is.
It's everything and nothing.
It's everything and nothing.
But you said something interesting. You said you almost forgot Future was on it. Yeah. Obviously, right? Because Andre 3000 verse is a moment, right? Mm-hmm. But Future sits very nice in this record.
Lovely.
Very nice in this record. Unlike
he balanced it so well.
That's the word. That's the word.
Because Mike spits is like one of his best verses ever.
Everybody came to the studio that day ready to work.
So it's Dre being Dre.
Dre being Dre.
Mike's one of Mike's greatest verses ever.
But Mike being Mike, right?
Right. Oh, very much Mike. Absolutely. Right. Dre being Dre, Mike being Mike. And then you got Future, who can mail it in sometimes.
But Future's being Future.
But he's being primo Future. Yeah. Like, bro, what he
futuristic.
Does. Oh, man, he had a couple lines in there, man. I'd rather be an outcast in the world of envy. Yeah, like, he had a couple lines in there. He's laid back on it.
Sounds good.
Because these dudes are so aggressive with their delivery. He lays back on it. He gives you the melody. Oh, man.
I love that it shows the versatility of Atlanta. Right?
Oh, yeah.
3 homegrown ATL artists.
All different.
Yep. All came and stayed exactly in their lane and made it work. Yep. That's the power of, you know what I'm saying? 100%. Like the hub of what Atlanta is and how musical they are.
Right.
And how many different chambers there are there. Everybody's not an Andre 3000. We know he's an alien.
Most people aren't.
Right? Everybody's not a Future. Nope. In his lane, he is the father of all of that shit.
What's the song that made you realize Future was a star?
Was a star?
Yeah.
That's that I would have to think about it.
That? Okay.
That's difficult because the songs that I felt made him a star were not my favorite joints. I just understood why they worked.
Yeah. No. I'm
March Madness. I love. Like
that's his greatest song ever.
Right, but by that point he was already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was Turn on Lights for me.
Oh, Turn on Lights is incredible.
And I heard that, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I heard it actually in the club. I'm like,
oh, you heard it in the proper setting.
I was
right where you were supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that one, because I didn't really love
I was like,
Tony Montana.
I mean, either.
Yeah, I got it. But I was like, I get it. No. But I did not see Future being who Future is today.
Not at all.
But yeah, that Turn on, like, I live us. Yeah, he really caught that.
The Thames record is a little annoying to me, but whatever. Anyway. But he does his thing on this.
People love that record.
People love that. Well, people love Thames. That's why. She's a cheat code.
She is a cheat code. And I'm gonna shut up because you almost set me up.
Yep.
You know, we play with words. We play with words right here. What did you give scientists and engineers?
Don't get. You got to come home. You got to come home.
You still talking? You still talking?
I gave it a 9.
Maybe not. Give it 9.5. It's right there. It's
probably 9.5.
Yeah, it's right.
Probably 9.5. It's right there.
Very.
I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna
go up. All right, I liked it.
9.5.
I like
100%.
it.
Is there a criticism though? Like, do we have to justify this half slight?
That's difficult because it's a great record.
Right.
It's not.
Doesn't mean it's perfect.
It's not a perfect record. It's a great record.
Yeah.
It's you know what if I had to give any criticism, replay value wise, it's not a record that I'm gonna play a lot.
Ooh.
I gotta want to be in that zone for that record.
You just foreshadowed some questions I have for you.
Okay.
I
like that. Okay. Unlike what you're doing, sir. Unlike what you. That would probably be the only
replay. I'm not mad at
criticism of the joint. As we get into track 8, 2 Days, featuring Ty Dolla $ign, produced by Don Cannon.
I really like this song.
Another stellar flow.
I really like this song. Yeah.
Another stellar flow.
Yeah. Relentless again. Doesn't really deviate. It's even like he does this cool like robotic Pimp C thing. You know what I'm saying? I wish though, again, because the beat is so hard. It's like it sounds like some real like Gary Clark Jr. rock star hip hop shit. I really love the fucking beat. I wish he like, again, like, deviated a little bit from, because like Ty Dolla sounds amazing.
Oh, he's in his soul bag.
He sounds amazing. I wish he would have came earlier. And again, it's the same thing I said with the intro in CeeLo. I wish that he's so relentless with the flow and it's so good. I wish we'd have like broke it up with how good Ty Dolla sounds, break that up and then get back into it. Again, little tweaks, but love this song, love the track. Mike does his thing again. He's drilling it. I mean, fucking Ty Dolla always sounds good, honestly.
If you're just a casual fan and listener though, you might not know the depth of a Ty Dolla Sign, right? You might just know him from
the hits.
These hits, these more popular records.
Nah, boy, gets busy.
Like when you really get into like the Beach House tapes and all of that, like that's when you really see Ty Dolla Sign in his bag. Yeah. He one of them ones.
He one of the ones.
He's like, one of them ones.
I mean, like people would never stand him next to Frank, but like they're cut from the kind of same cloth. They just have different styles.
You play games
now.
They
have different styles.
You want to smoke now.
I'm just saying they do, boy.
Smoke. He's way more productive than Frank. He's way more active.
No doubt. I mean, they have different styles, but I'm just saying like the way they go about it and the uniqueness. And the way they just take fucking melodies and bend them and lyrics and bend them.
Yeah, he's
great.
What I'm saying? He's great at finding those melodies.
And he's wavy, like, you know what I'm saying?
And he wavy.
Frank is a weirdo,
yeah,
but I'm saying he's just fucking
a,
ill with it.
Frank is an introvert.
You could be an introvert and not a weirdo.
Ty Dolla Sign is wavy.
Wavy, yeah.
He sound cool. He dress cool. He show up cool. You know what I mean? What'd you give the joint?
8.5.
8.5? Yeah. I gave it an 8. As we proceed, Spaceship Views featuring Currency, 2 Chainz, and Cash Page, produced by the Honorable C Note. What's your view of the Spaceship, B?
My view?
Yeah.
View of the song?
Of Spaceship Views.
Spaceship Views. I feel like we needed this, you know what I'm saying? It's like Southern lyrical shit. Mike's rapping a lot on this album, so like, you want to see him, you want to see him next to, I mean, you always want to see everybody next to Dre, right? But, next to 2 Chainz, you know what I'm saying? Next to, Currency, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I thought it was cool. I mean, it's a good groove joint. I'm never really a big fan of Currency, unfortunately.
Really?
He just never rhymes on beat anymore. You know what I'm saying? I loved him a lot. When he was with Wayne, I loved him. And now he's all high and like, I might come back on the beat, I might not,
I think his tone is so unique that he always sounds voice is good. Yeah, he always sounds good to me. Yeah. But when he has a presence on records. 100%. He has a presence on records.
Yeah.
I've learned to deal with the out of the pocket thing. It's not my favorite. But I don't think that he always does it either, though.
I feel like he does it on purpose, though.
Yeah. It's just like he just super laid back.
He has a drunken style.
It's drunken style?
Yeah.
But you tolerated ODB, though.
Yeah, tolerated. It's a completely different artist.
What you mean?
Though.
He was a drunken style.
That motherfucker could sing, though.
Drunk.
I think we'll bust into a whole Mahalia Jackson rendition, my nigga. You kidding me? You comparing ODB to Currency?
No, I'm comparing drunk. I'm comparing drunken style.
That's
different drunk.
There's malt liquor and it's fucking bourbon. Like that's a different type of alcohol, my guy.
I like the way that everyone sounds on this record. I think that Currency showed up, and I loved hearing him. It really broke up the monotony.
Yeah.
I get excited especially on a feature. Like a Currency album or a mixtape where it's a lot of Currency and a lot of his tone can get a little redundant. But a feature from Currency always perks my ears up.
It's a good choice to have him go first too.
Tony on the record is always gonna perk my ears up. You just never know what you're gonna get with 2 Chainz, right? He's not gonna mail it in though.
No.
He's not gonna mail it in.
No.
You might not love it, but he's never gonna mail it in. He's always gonna do what he needs to do by his own standards. But I think he showed up on this one and did what he did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Like you said,
I'm talking that shit.
He talked that shit.
I don't think it's anything superbly exceptional lyrically. I just think everybody did their thing. You know what I mean? Like nobody played themselves. Nobody mailed it in. Everybody was actually like looking to give this song a tough verse.
When Killer might call you and say, "Yo, get on my record," you better not play yourself.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like
stretch.
Stretch.
You know what I'm saying?
Stretch. Get a good night's sleep.
Right. Make sure that's the verse. You know what I mean? Maybe you want to edit a little bit.
Yeah. Don't just send it right away.
Because you will get stomped.
Yeah, don't just send it right away. Let it marinate. Yeah, I like Spaceship Views. I gave it an 8.
8, same.
Word up. Exit 9.
9.
Featuring Blast.
Yeah, man.
Produced by Beat Butcher. So Blast has shown up on every album that matters in the last
year
and a half. You know what I'm saying? 12 to like 16, 18 months.
That's right. It's July now. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's
last year and a half. Yep.
They call his phone. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that you want to hear from, they want to hear him on their shit. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I talked to the A&Rs and the music dudes, and Blast and Don Toliver are the dudes, man, that people like, all right, they're expecting to like come up. You know, they I don't know if they would consider them in the G League right now or JV, but like people are expecting them to graduate and be on that major level.
We talked about this Don Toliver shit.
100%.
His albums, his projects be grooving, bro. Them shits be jamming.
He makes good music.
Yeah,
man.
them shits be jamming.
He makes good music.
He hasn't got quite over the hump. Like people know his name, but he's not a household name. But as far as what he go in the studio and do,
he just needs story, man. He doesn't have story yet.
people that we want to hear from respect him and want to hear from him.
He don't play himself.
So he shows up. He shows up on these joints. How'd you feel about Exit 9?
I loved him on this. Loved him on this. It might be my favorite hook on it, honestly.
Okay.
It's clean, well written. And again, we have these big robust hooks. It's a lot of choir shit. Like again, some of it gets a little noisy. Something that doesn't really match. Or it's just a little too much. Like some of these songs are kind of overproduced, right? But like with this one, it's just like even again, just the pen of it. Like I just love the hook, the way it's written. It's perfect. It's a perfect hook for Mike. Mike's laid back on it. You know what I mean? He's still spitting, still dropping, but it's not like he's not trying to like prove to the world he's lyrical again. He's giving you just like what this song needs. And I'm like, I like Mike sounding comfortable. And he actually sounds more comfortable on the latter half of this album than he does in the beginning.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have a different take.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't feel like this is as potent as what we've gotten so far.
That's a good word though. I can see you on that.
Yeah, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it's as potent. I don't feel like it. Mike set the bar really high, right? There's been some phenomenal rapping. Yeah. There's been some extraordinary singing. There's been some incredible production. So I feel like the bar is set high. I don't think it's a bad record. I just think that maybe sequence-wise it could have come early in the album, or it's just not hitting as hard as some of the joints that we've heard already.
I think its sequence actually kind of perfect because again, it actually it's almost like a breath of fresh air. Mike has been so relentless, right, with his flow. He's been so deliberate. He's giving you specific flows, let you know I could do that shit too. I could be lyrical. I got a lot to say. Protest records with Run, right? Like big choirs, a lot of screaming. Like it's very almost like it's like Southern Public Enemy in the beginning of this album, but now we're kind of getting into the more smoother, laid back, introspective. I want you to hear me a little clearer. I'm dealing with a little bit more emotional stuff. You know what I mean? So I think this song is actually a great bridge into where we're about to go.
I feel that. I still don't feel content because it's just the song of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not keeping me in the space, in the headspace. I feel what you're saying about a reset and grant a different transition into the second half of the project. And I feel like maybe if we got more moments like that, I would agree with that more. But I think we still stay heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like we about to go to something for junkies and motherland. Yeah. Like we still
the topic is still heavy. I'm just saying the tone of it. Yeah, you know what I mean? The tone of it is a little more.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite. Wasn't my favorite joint on it, man. I feel like I said, I think the bar was set really high. I think this one falls a little short.
But Blast is my favorite on the song.
Shout out to Blast.
He makes the song for me.
Shout out to Blast. Shout out to B Butcher. What'd you get a joint?
8.5.
8.5? I gave it 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah. Something for the Junkies.
Hell of a topic.
That was an interesting title, bro.
Hell of a topic.
That jumps off the page.
Nobody's ever given an ode to junkies.
We got something for the honeys. From Montel
We got something for the hustlers, too.
We got something for the hustlers. You know what I mean?
A lot of
we let the smokers shine the coops.
Bruh.
But we never did something specifically for the junkies. Yeah. Killer Mike is a fucking fool for this record, bro. Bruh. He is a fool for this record. Again. Oh, my God.
Topics and things that were right under our noses that we've lived with all our lives, right? But it's like, from a rapper standpoint, it's always... The junkies were always the butt of the joke, right? Dance contest for the smokers. You know what I mean? Like it's always been that thing for this dude, for him to humanize the addict. You know what I'm saying? And then not only just humanize the addict, right? But then give you his personal count. Like auntie was like, you know what I mean? Like we all got an uncle,
you have to
auntie,
be courageous,
cousin.
right? You have to be courageous enough to be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the storytelling on this, and like you said, humanizing the people that are commonly the butt of the joke. Yeah. We used to make them, jump off the gate into the sticky bushes. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like jump in the thorns for $2. Exactly. Crazy shit. Like we was kids, stupid shit. Reckless, dumb, immature shit, right?
You never, because you didn't look at them as human beings. That's what I'm saying. Like to see him humanize them now. They were just really like, you remember Night of the Living Basshead? We didn't look at them like really humans. Like they were like they were ghosts.
Like show ponies.
Exactly, for real. Like they were half dead. So like
it's sad when you think about it. Like in our big age, you know what I'm saying? We can look back on it and just be like, damn, this is my uncle aunt, uncle aunt. You know what I'm saying? Like
we didn't have no remorse for them like that. You know what I mean? So
no goddamn guidance.
But then it was like you didn't even recognize like. There was like the like Felicia, like Friday. It was like there was like those kind of fiends, right? And then it'd be the fiend who come over for Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? And like you don't really know how high that he or she is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like
the functioning. Produced by Cannon, No ID, Lil Shalimar. I think the Farrakhan excerpt is extraordinary.
Oh man,
it's just listen.
Man, you want to feel small?
Yeah,
listen to Lewis.
It's just. It get right to it,
man.
Get right to it,
and that's exactly what we just talked about. Right. Like they were the butt of our jokes. And like, we were playing ourselves.
We were playing ourselves, exactly. I think the storytelling in the second verse is it's so it's a movie. It's a movie.
She paused, took a hit, came back to the
story. In the production, right? So you got to drop the beat out. While she go through that, while she
nodded off mid-conversation and came back, bro.
She go through that feeling.
Oh, man.
I don't know if you ever seen somebody hit a stem, right? Smoking crack.
And
where they go, like it's an out-of-body experience, and then they come back. And that's the high that they continuously chase.
They could be standing up, bro.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Knob, when you're like, wait a minute. We saw like, yo, is he hit the ground? He hit the ground? He almost... Oh, he got back up.
Like, them dope fiends,
like, son,
them dope fiends. They get this close to the close to the earth level.
Pop back
and then
up.
Pop right back up. It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Man, but this record definitely is one of the ones that made me feel something.
Special joint.
As you were talking, it made me think about how much $1 costs Kendrick Lamar, right? With the transient at the gas station, you know what I'm saying? That turns out to be God, right? Crazy story. When you talked about how many people are tackling these type of topics, like the special artists get to that place. They go a little deeper then.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They give you something more.
But also, like, I mean, it's fucked up too, because you think about the crack era, especially brown and black communities, like, a lot of initial crackheads, they got hooked on crack partying. They motherfuckers smoked weed and smoked the wrong blunt.
Right.
A lot of the initial crackheads started like that. That's crazy.
There's a mention of the DMX story. With the lace blunt.
Yep.
Man.
He said he dealt with a lace blunt as well.
Right.
Kendrick talked about also hitting the shenanigans. You know what I mean? Like,
the shenanigans?
Shenanigans, man.
It's an excellent album. Love that album. It's amazing, man. Love that album.
Favorite Kendrick album.
Something for the junkies. Where we at?
Well, it's funny you mentioned this, right? You were talking about Kendrick. So I asked you, like, how much playback appeal does this song have?
Of the album?
No, this song.
Of this song, how much replay value?
Because it's a great song, but it's like, do you go to like, do I want to hear about the junkies?
No.
Regular.
No. Yeah. It's a great record in the confines of the album. It's not one of the ones that I'm going to go back to and play, because the music that makes you feel something, it either make you feel good and uplift you, or it's really heavy.
Yeah.
And this is heavy. Like, I don't want to continuously have this moment 3 and 4 times a week. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is it has gravity. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So don't bring me all the way down.
And also it brings me back to my own dark shit. You know
Precisely. This is what I'm saying. Like, don't take me there. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, I gotta live with that enough.
Right. I literally had to live through it.
No more reminders.
I had to live through it. Y'all watched it on TV. I was there.
I gave Something for the Junkies an 8.5.
I gave it 8.5 as well. Yeah, I gave it 8.5 as well. It was actually, I got in here, it was an 8 until that second verse in the closeout.
Oh, the closeout is also
yeah.
great.
It turned it up even more. But yeah, man, it's just a very poignant record. You know what I'm saying?
Very poignant record.
Motherless, another title. This is not anybody's rapping with a song called Motherless, because that could go any kind of way. This is Killer Mike.
Shout out to Ghostface.
Right, Mother's Child. Right, but he's of that ilk too.
record.
He's of that cloth too.
Yeah.
Certain rappers, you see Motherless on the track list, and you're like, I knew this was gonna be something.
Yeah, nobody.
This is Killer Mike.
Nobody out mothers Ghostface Killer. Nobody out mothers Ghostface Killer.
Yeah, but this is beautiful. This is beautiful. I got obviously.
I got to say beautiful. I got it right here.
It's classy. It's classic. I think closing with Aaron over those church organs is goosebumps. Like,
and I like Mike's delivery on this, man. This album started off with him being so aggressive. Really trying to prove the fact, not prove. I mean, just remind them motherfuckers that I get busy.
That's his comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like that's where Mike spends most of his time.
That's interesting.
In your face.
That's funny because it's interesting because like this song and the last song, I felt like he was sounding the most comfortable. And I'm like, yo, like for instance, probably the song I probably liked the least on this album was Talking Shit. And he's like trying to hit it and I'm like, it's so unnecessary. Like that beat doesn't even call for it. It's like we got it already. Like you already gave us the fucking first verse. You gave us Down by Law. You gave us Run. Right. Like you don't really gotta kill it. You know what I mean? And like he's actually like laid back under the beat. You know what I'm saying? Like just comfortable and just painting those pictures and giving us that imagery. Right. Sounds just beautiful.
You can have you can have a game where you just drive into the basket
all day.
And you going downhill and you got an agenda.
You could be Mike 1988 or you could be Mike 1992.
You can have a smooth, pretty elegant off the backboard glass, go to the line. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, you can it's two styles of play, right? Yeah. And they can both be effective. Right. Like the Quiet 45 is like, yo, wait, he had what?
Wait, how? Where?
How you get 42?
Tim Duncan?
Yeah, like what are you talking about? Like when guys are on a mission, that's one style of
Clapping
play.
For the ball, everybody.
Right. That's one style of play. Yeah. But I respect
MVP
a quiet.
MVP Rose,
I respect a quiet 42 performance. I think that's what Mike gave us on this Motherless joint.
I like that, man.
Sometimes we so used to how we rap and how we learned. As I'm speaking as an MC, and maybe you can speak to this as well. But it's what we know, so it's what we automatically defer to.
Right.
Even though we got
it's
more,
harder to dumb it down.
Yeah. Even though we have more in our toolbox, even if we have more in our repertoire, just going to your comfort zone is the easiest thing to do. Right. And so, although as listeners we might listen and say, "Damn, Mike sound great. He need to stay in this zone more." This is probably more effort.
Right.
The laid back shit, ironically, is probably more effort because he's so used. I mean, he's a big guy. He has a big presence. Yeah. He sounds heavy on records.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm sure that's how he likes to give it up. But this one is crazy. The production is amazing. So it's a very, very tough record. And I love these type of feels toward the end of your album. In my mind, this is how you're supposed to close out. These records feel like the ending of the story.
What'd you give it?
I gave it a 9.
Same.
Yeah? Tough 9. Tough 9. Don't Let the Devil. Produced by LP, No ID, and Lil Shalimar. Featuring LP and Thank You Good Sir. LP of obviously Run the Jewels fame. Mike and LP have had great success together.
Global success.
Yeah, like just two guys who were in probably a crossroad in their career at that time that got together, that found lightning in a bottle.
And made something special.
And made something that resonated with so many people that they're probably one of the most known, unknown groups in recent time in history. You can go down the street and ask about Run the Jewels, and mad people like, I don't know what you're talking about, or they think you're trying to take their chain. But they could fill up a stadium somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they could do one of these huge ass festivals with 200,000 people. Right, so I say that respectfully, like not household names in that, but definitely in the right circles and communities, they are huge. With that being said, I was never the biggest RTJ fan.
Same.
Yeah, I like what Mike does.
I like what Mike does.
I like what Mike does.
I think it was also because I wasn't really a big LP fan.
Yeah.
I think that might have been it. I'm also not a fan of this song.
Yeah, my least favorite song on the record.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool. I'm not big on RTJ. Literally what I have.
Not, but I mean, it's also what Mike is doing on his record is not what he's done in his album. He's doing Run the Jewels.
No, it's a Run the Jewels song.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't think it was necessary because just give us the Run the Jewels record and let those records live in that space.
I mean, I get it having a Run the Jewels record on your joint, but
I understand it. But I like that
you got to nail it if you're going to do it, man.
Yeah, I like that you just went so elsewhere with this project. You didn't have to.
Mike did say smack chickpeas out your cheek to jewel hummus. I was like, that's kind of funny. That's
one of my favorite meals.
That's kind of funny. Like
both. Yeah.
Not that hummus.
No, not hummus drool. Not hummus drool.
No,
I'm good on that. Yo. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this joint.
So it doesn't sound like it just doesn't do anything for me. The beat is super lackluster. I do not like L's verse,
especially because I love so much on this record and coming off the two records.
And if you compare this Mike verse to any of the verse on this album, like it doesn't stand up.
Yeah, man. So that's all I got to say about that. I didn't. I gave it a 7.5.
Give it 7.
Give it 7. Yeah.
7.
Yeah. High and Holy.
But I love this last song.
So High and Holy, title wise, is a double meaning, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Normally, if you acting high and holy, you acting higher than thou, holier than thou,
right.
Above others, right?
Yeah.
But Mike is a pothead.
So am I.
So he's gonna show you the high and the holy. Right. Like I'm high, right? We go right back to when we talked about the top of the record, the album cover, and that duality that he lives in, right? You juxtapose the angel,
the
halo with the devil horns. That's kind of closing out. Like I'm holy, but I still get high.
Yep.
I'm high and holy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And not in the way that you would think. So I love that. It was super
Double
clever.
entendre. Yeah,
it was super clever. It was super
I'm high-minded. I'm also high off that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
It works on so many different levels. Another Ty Dolla $ign feature, produced by Tag Beats. Yeah, man. I love the play on words.
Yeah. It's funny. Mike is in his again talking about these deliveries, right? It's different than the top of the album. He's in his Scarface background. He's just talking. And I mean, it sounds good.
Sounds excellent. We neglected to talk about his voice. He has a great voice for rap.
He has a great voice.
There's certain people that can rap.
Voice, period.
Yeah. He has a great, but I'm speaking in the rap term because there's certain people that rap really good, but I don't love their voice. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Mike just,
OG.
certain people just sound like they're supposed to make records.
100%.
And Mike is one of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great voice. No, I think he sounds perfect on this album, and I actually wish he did. I would sit back a little bit because Run the Jewels stuff is also super rapidy rap. Like they cater to a very
they make festival music.
They make festival music. I hate to say it, but like they cater to white boys who love rap.
Yeah,
white boys who love rap. That's their shit. You know what I mean? So like.
Who buy rap, who buy merch, who buy tickets.
Absolutely.
I get it.
100%. But the rap style is a little different though.
Yeah, very much
It's a little different. It's very much beta Eminem, you know what I'm saying? Like
There's no soul.
It's got to be lyrical.
There's no soul.
There we go. It's not a lot of soul. And the crazy part is Michael Render is an extremely soulful brother.
He's a soulful man from the South.
Extremely soulful dude.
Grew up on collard greens and shit. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Right?
And beans.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like for him to close this out, talking about high and holy, the double entendre, like not just mailing out like I'm gonna get high. It's like no, like I've evolved. I've come up out of some. I rose out of some shit on some Phoenix shit. Right. You know what I mean? Out of the ashes. You know what I mean? Like yeah, of course we still get high, blah blah.
But I'm still from and of that.
I'm all still spiritual because I come from Georgia. Like the women that raised me were spiritual.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just love him in this bag, man. You know what I mean? I hope this is like I don't know if this album is like his magnum opus, but I feel like this might be the step before the mag. This might be the 8701 before Confessions. You know what I'm saying? So
tough.
Yeah.
Tough. I like that. I think that's a great synop.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I feel exactly the same way. I think by my standards, this is his best solo project.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
He's just
100%.
grown, and it's so telling that when guys hit their 40s and they find this stride of enough life lived, combined with enough intelligence, with enough success,
but still tapped into the craft. Because
remember, right.
Man, I'll date a 40-year-old rapper forgot how to rap.
Yeah, that's I don't like it.
So bad.
I don't like that.
So bad.
Like, yo, bro, how did you forget?
So bad.
How did you do you hear yourself? You know, but I think that now where we are, man, we are seeing that some of our rappers who age are some of the best at the craft, making the best music of their career. And this I pointed out in hip hop because, you know, like people talk about Quincy Jones making his best record in his 40s or 50s or something like that, right?
Turner.
You know, yeah, exactly. Like in other genres of music, they respect that you get older and get better at your craft and you make the better shit. In hip hop, because it's always been deemed a young person's sport, you know, they look at you as you age in hip hop as it's over for you. But I think now we're seeing some of the artists who make the best shit that resonate with me are grown motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. What's your overall the Michael album? What's your overall number?
8.5.
8.5? Yeah, it's like an 8. It's over 8. It's about 8.7.
Okay.
I know that's not a real hard to earn rating, but it's like an 8.7.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's much closer to a 9 than an 8.5.
Okay.
Yeah. It's right there, man.
It's right there.
It's right there. It's right
is.
there. It's really,
well
really.
produced.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise. It's nothing really like, oh, we've seen this a million times before. It's, you know, even the way he uses Ty Dolla, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I just, you know, you got a right amount of like star quality, big build. It's not a bunch of no names, you know what I'm saying? But then you splash it in with some new names who also deliver. Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's exactly what I wanted to hear from Killer Mike.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, I mean, you know, with
spot on.
It's with you know, Young Thug's album out, and you know, for it to be middle of the year. I think right now he's in the runnings, man.
Oh, nah, I've seen, you know, depending on what your preference is, but I've seen people say that this is the album.
Yeah, B-Dot said the same thing. B-Dot said the same thing to me. He's like, he thought this was the album of the year. So
I got to change how I feel.
Yeah, I know.
So I can't be sitting around here agreeing with B-Dot.
Yeah. You see his top 10 mixtape list?
I love B-Dot, man. B-Dot we talk about growth. We watched B-Dot grow and mature, you know, after you unleashed him onto the world. We've seen B-Dot process and grow and become one of the top voices and journalists in this shit. You know,
grown man. We
talk about thought leaders. He's one of the people that Elliot, I think he tweeted it today. He was like, "You care what we think," and it's true.
There we go.
You know, anybody can make a list. Shout out to Ty. Ty can make a list. Right. Ain't nobody gonna double tap that shit. But the B-Dot list, they want to go through the 10 and they want to criticize it. Man.
Shout out to my guy, Michael Render, Killer Mike.
For sure.
Proud of you, boy.
For sure. Great project.
Yes, sir.
If you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. So like, share, subscribe, comment. Yeah. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm seeing our YouTube numbers grow. You know, people are subscribing more and more. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I always also see in the comments, oh my God, this is an amazing show, amazing page. Why you guys only got so many followers? And well, then tell your people.
How about it?
You know what I'm saying? Tell your people. This is a independent.
Because you didn't tell anybody. That's your answer.
This is an independent, homegrown product right here.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? Like we building this thing from scratch. But if you fuck with it, definitely let your people know you're like-minded people, and we will be back with another episode of Hard to Earn.
Or we'll be back, or we'll be outside making y'all run them jewels, okay? You want us here. All right?
If you want respect, you gotta earn it. Damn right.